What's going on? Welcome back, Assassins. Hopefully, your bellies are full from yesterday, but you're not too full that you're able to trade today. Let's get started. Looking at the overall market, we're starting off with a ticker called Man U. This is basically a penny stock runner. As you guys can see, it went from the lows of $12 and we're sitting around like 12.50. I have to actually go to the 5-year chart so we're actually able to see what's going on since the stock is basically this is the highest the stock has been in years. So as you guys can see, this stock was trading at least in 2018 at $27, basically had a decline in price. So overall, they lost some key investors, but the main hype today is that they're gaining some new investors that could possibly take the company to next levels. Do I believe it? No, but is this tradable? Yes. So main level we want to watch is going to be that $20.93. Penny stocks are pretty easy. You want to buy the breakouts of previous resistance zones. You can see this level was a previous resistance zone multiple times. So once we break out from here, it's only safe that we could start pushing up from $20.90 to 22, maybe even 23, maybe even 27. This could be a possible good one or the possible run up. Make sure you guys check to see if it's optionable. If it is optionable, that would be very good because then we could possibly get even better gains than just buying shares, depending on how many shares you're buying per se anyway. But anywho, jump into the next stock. We're going to talk about in the video. There's no real stock market news today per se. So, and hopefully we got some good volume today, especially after yesterday. So looking at NVIDIA 180 is crossed up. RSI is a little bit more on the overbought side. This can be like a double top pattern. If we do fade, we want to watch for a break of 162, and we can start going to 156, which is the 1-year EMA. So shorted from the 180-day EMA to the 1-year EMA down here. If we are to go for a long position, want to drop down towards our 20-day, and you can see 20 days overbought. 20-day MACD wants to cross down, so definitely watch out for that pullback. But if we do start to bounce, you could see we have some type of flat spot over here, meaning, hey, we had some resistance around that 166. If we do break 166, I believe we could retest these 168, maybe 170. But definitely want to be cautious with this, especially since that 20 days are looking like it wants to cross down. Could cross down, bounce off the 180-day. That's always a possibility. That's why we always want to wait for full confirmation before we get into these trades. Next stock we want to look at Tesla. So Tesla has been a fan favorite lately, especially since the volatility. So looking at Tesla's overall chart over here, let's jump over towards the 180-day. Tesla was on a declining pattern, reverse step and staircase, and we're trying to break out of that. We actually got above the 1 year as well too. So definitely want to watch to see if it continues to hold these levels. Tesla's getting a little bit more on the overbought side. MACD is approaching divergence. So you guys know what that means. It could either reject it or it could go into it. So let's see what happens today. Watch for the break of 190, and we can start basically pushing up towards 198. 198 was a previous resistance. 190 was a previous support and resistance. So let's see what happens with that. Make sure you guys set your alerts. Jumping down towards the 4-hour to the 20-day. I see what the 20-day is telling us. 20 days a little bit more on the overbought side, especially after that strong run up from 165 all the way up towards like 189 where it's sitting right now. Let's see what happens, especially since basically we went from 65 towards that 189. RSI is a little bit more on the overbought side. It's only natural if we have some type of pullback, not saying it has to happen, but if we do have a pullback, we can't be like, whoa, we're shocked that we're having a pullback. RSI is very overbought, and we've been basically running since like the 22nd. Today's the 25th. So let's see what happens. Set your alerts for either occasion. If we do start to come back down, we kind of have some type of strong support on Tesla over here, where we have the EMA and the SMA, two strong support levels at 184. So, and not only that, we have 183 acting as the 1-year EMA. Not only that, but we have the 180-day at 180. So A lot of support to the downside doesn't mean Tesla can't butter through all of this. Just letting you know the possibilities and what's going on right now. You can see the 1 year, 180 day right here at that 180. We got the 1 year, we got that descending wedge going on right here. So let's see what overall happens. I would feel a lot safer for short positions below 180 because then we could start basically going to 174 and maybe possibly lower from there. But above 180, if we start to just pull back and then we could just, there's so many different bounce areas over here. You could go in with a tight stop. Not to say it's impossible to trade. There's always a way to trade something. You could go in there with a tight stop. If it goes against you, you know you understood the risk. But understand that there is a lot of support to the downside with Tesla and it's overbought. So it's all possible. We could butter through everything. And watch for that 190 to that 198 for the upside. Last but not least, looking at SPY. So SPY has basically been on an uptrend. You can see this, right? You can see we've basically been making higher lows, not only that way, and then we basically started to just take off from these 394 levels, and then we're back at 403, which was a major rejection zone. So we definitely want to watch to see what's going to overall happen over here at this 403, 403. We hit that level before. We actually we hit it, and then we start to sink down towards 389. So let's see what overall happens. We need to break 403 and 54 cents. If we zoom in a little bit, you can see the MACD is a little crossed down on the 20-day. So let's see what happens. Just kind of going sideways right now. Anything is a possibility. Looking at the 180-day, 180-day is crossed up a little bit more on the overbought side. Is it ready for a pullback? Possibly. So we want to watch to see what's going to overall happen. If we do break 403 or 404, whichever level you're waiting for it to break, right? 404 is a solid number as well. 404, we could go to 410 over here, which was a previous resistance level. So that's always good as well. If we continue to run over, what's totally possible. We've seen her do it before. If we do start to pull back, not only that we have the EMA over here, we could basically pull back and bounce off this trend line. You can see we've been basically making higher lows over here. So we could basically pull back from 401. I'm gonna set my alerts, 401, and then we could start basically looking to bounce around like this 397 zone, and then we could come up, or we could just butter through everything. Anything's possible. I always like to keep an open mind when I'm going into trades. This way you don't have any type of bias towards one side. So that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully, you guys all have a green trading day. Make sure you guys use a stop loss. Make sure you guys practice safe trading. Make sure you guys notice, hey, if it's low volume, maybe today's not a good day to trade. And then I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.